What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the newest episode of the Believe in Oregon podcast. I'm Zachary, Neel. My co-host over there is Jonathan Stewart. Jay Stu, what's up, man? How we doing?
Good, dog. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing really good.
hmm
We've got a little bit of a short week this week because the Ducks hosting Michigan State on Friday night instead of Saturday. But we got a really good show for you guys today. We're gonna get into some of our take and bakes from the weekend. We'll be flying with the pros once again and just kind of highlight some of the pro Ducks in the NFL. We're going to close it out with some Duck calls and prediction for Friday's game. I wanted to start out with some positive injury news that we got from Dan Lanning last night in his weekly press conference. He said that tight end Terrence Ferguson is practicing and should be ready to go for this week against Michigan State, which I was honestly surprised by after seeing that hit that he took in the last game, but it's good news.
Yeah, that's great news. Definitely want to have your guys all on deck when it comes to playing Michigan State this week. Short week too.
Well, and it's just like a classic scenario of like you don't you can't get over your skis and diagnose an injury based on what you see on TV. Like I saw the hit and automatically I was like, wow, looks like he probably has a concussion because he got hit in the
Yeah,
head and was a little bit wobbly when he stood up. But they said that he's good to go this week, and so I trust them that they're doing what's best for the players. So it's
yeah,
great news.
yeah. I mean, the human body is incredible in a lot of ways, and everybody's different. The chemical imbalances within that dome of ours. Um, People, react different, to head collisions and collisions as a whole.
Do you
So,
know how many concussions you had in your career?
probably 68.
That's not good. I think that's too many.
Well, they can classify concussion on a
It's true.
different scale of measurement there. So that's the reason why I say 68. But I definitely know for a fact I've had at least four concussions,
Okay.
and
See, I've had
one of
in
them, one of them I exited the game, and I was out for at least 2 weeks. I think 2 to 3
mhm,
weeks.
okay.
Yeah.
I know in my much shorter playing career than you, I had 2 concussions. I
Oh,
got I got knocked silly by this guy who went on to play at Boise State, so that's kind of my calling card for my, very limited football
yeah.
career.
I'm pretty sure I got a lot of concussions too, just from childhood. I
Yeah.
feel like I have this memory, this image of me falling out of a tree, and I still have this. It's like a vivid image, like not a dream. Like I
Mhm.
almost like it was. It feels like a dream, but it really happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
But so probably had a concussion from falling out of a tree.
I believe it. Alright, that's enough concussion talk. I didn't have that on the rundown to start, but glad we got
Yeah.
into that. Let's get into our take and bake, but first, I've got an important question for you, Jay Stu. What
That
is your favorite quality in a hat?
my favorite quality in a hat is fit. It must fit
Fit.
well,
I agree.
um, and when I say fit, it has to be comfortable. I got
Mhm,
this weird head. I got a peanut size head, and you know, it has to fit, and it has to fit when it gets worn multiple times, right? So it has to be durable. But I'd say fit is the most important feature to a hat, and it has to look like it's supposed to be on your head. There's some hats that I cannot wear,
mhm.
and I'm okay with that. Melon just so happens to make the perfect hat for my melon.
I think you're onto something there. Melon, our sponsor for this episode, these are incredible hats. We've been sponsored by them, like, they sponsored us for a few months, and then they started just re-upping with us again, sent us more hats. I think I've got, like, 8 Melon hats in my closet right now. I love all of
hmm
them. I cycle through them every single day. These things are built to last 5 times longer than any other hat. They're natural antimicrobial properties, so sweat doesn't break down the hat. No sweat stains, no smell. Like we've said before, they're built for the water. They don't really lose their shape if they get wet, and they also float if you drop them in the water. If you need to wash it, they come right back to life and look brand new. In the summer months, I've been enjoying part of their hydro collection, which is really good. That water wicking material. I am excited to get into the thermal collection for this winter and kind of see how that keeps your dome nice and warm. It's like 80 degrees outside right now, though, so I'm still wearing this Hydro collection,
And I like how light the hats are, you know?
right? Great
They're
quality, just the material, so nice.
material. It's just like, man, this is the premium choiced hat.
I agree. If you're looking for the world's most durable hat, look no further. Go to melon.com, that's melin.com, and put it to the test yourself.
Get a melon for your melon.
All right, let's get into our take and bake. We've let our thoughts sit for a couple of days since the game. Now it's time to get them out of the oven and kind of see what we got. I'm going to start this week, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I kind of touched on this on Sunday when we were talking about Oregon's championship contender potential and what
Hmm.
we saw, like kind of after watching that Alabama and Georgia game. But it led me to this. Simply put, I think that this next month of Oregon football could be among the most important stretches of Oregon football that we've seen in a long time, maybe in
Well, who do
program
we have?
history if you want to
Who
get
do
that
we have?
bold.
Who do we have this month?
So we've got Michigan State, Ohio State, Purdue, Illinois, and then Michigan. Those are the next 5 games.
Mm.
I know that's like a really bold statement, but hear me out. It's no secret that coming into this year, the Ducks had championship aspirations this year. And, I said this last weekend that I'm not quite convinced yet that they're there yet. That doesn't mean they can't get there. I just need to see it on the field before I'm convinced that they can run with teams like Georgia and Alabama. Ohio State, we'll see that in a couple of weeks, but I think we'll find out over the next month like how legit this team actually is. This week, I think, is a big opportunity against Michigan State on Friday. You got a national stage. You're playing on a short week. Obviously, next week you go to Ohio State. Even if they don't win that game, if the Ducks can prove that they belong in that game and make it a close game, they're gonna tell us a lot. And obviously, a win says it all. But after that, I think you get a get right opportunity against Purdue, and then a chance to really assert your dominance. You host number 24 Illinois. You go on the road against number 10 Michigan. So, like I said, I've got questions about the championship potential this year, but I think over the next month we're going to get a lot of answers. If they step up and they're the team that we envisioned them to be coming into the year, then it might be the start of a real new era in Eugene where you're kind of expecting to make the playoff each year, and you're kind of in that Georgia Alabama realm where you're expecting to make a deep run in that playoff and make it to the championship. So today, as we record this, is October 1st. The Michigan game is on November 2nd. So, personally, I'm circling November 3rd on the calendar. I want to revisit this then and see what we think about the team because I think we're going to learn a ton over the next month.
Great take. I love that.
Thank you. I've been working on that
You
since
really,
Sunday.
you you've been really doing some real soul searching there, sir.
I have. I was laying
Um,
in bed this morning and I was like, what's my take and bake? I was like, you
so
know
what does
what?
Zach think about on
This is
on
it.
on the daily? Thinks about the Oregon Ducks all the
Hey,
time.
that's what I do. It's my job. It's my life.
That's good.
You
That's
got any
good to have.
you got any take and bakes for me?
My take and bake is our defense is coming alive, and I'm so
Absolutely.
proud to say that.
It's so fun to
You,
have a team with good defense.
yeah, no matter what happens, we're trending in the right direction.
Mhm.
We might have started slow, as a team, but this defense has been very steady for the last 2 weeks, and I am very appreciative of that. If you're an Oregon Duck fan, you are excited about what's to come because I don't think we've peaked yet, even, right?
No,
You don't
definitely not.
ever want to peak in the first 4 games of the season. First
Week 5?
five games, you
Yeah.
want to you want to peak somewhere in January,
I would say November or
December.
December if you're talking about college football, but yeah, I got what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about pro
You think
football right
about
now, but
NFL. Yeah, that's fine.
there's moments and times where you just want to be trending, right? You
Mhm.
want to be trying new things. You want to be fitting certain players in certain situations just to see what you have. And that's what we've been talking about, as far as missed opportunities of being able to see the second string, the third string guys earlier on in the year, being able to get on the field to know what we have as a total roster. And
Mhm.
so what I'm really excited about is knowing that our defense has they've started to come into their own. Guys like Jordan Birch. I mean, just seeing a guy like that you expect to go on the field and be disruptive against a team that he's supposed to be disruptive against and do it with ease, it seemed like at times.
Mhm.
That's exciting to me. Um, holding UCLA to touchdowns besides a defensive touchdown, right? That offense could not sniff they couldn't sniff the end zone. Okay.
No, not even
Three,
close.
three, two field goals. I'm okay with that. All right. I'm okay with
Yeah.
the field goals.
One of
Can't
them a
win.
54-yarder.
You can't win football games against the Oregon Ducks with field goals because you got Dylan Gabriel over there. And I feel like he hasn't even scratched the surface. We'll give another take and bake on him another time, but it's there. It's coming.
That take
It's
is
coming.
baking for sure. It's
The
really
take is
baking.
baking. I have I'll say maybe around Halloweenish, we'll have a real take and bake on him.
Mhm.
But I'm excited about this defense. You know, I feel like defense at the college level, um, is very hard to come by.
Mhm.
There's a lot of, potent offenses out there, that are scheming guys up left and right. And to have a defensive unit that is, you know, built, for the coaching staff to be able to deploy the way that we've been able to do so, it's pretty awesome. So,
Well, and it's really fun because it's not normal in Eugene, I think, to have, like, a really dominant defense. Oregon has always been known as that flashy
uh
offense, and then you'll see what you get with I mean, they've been good. They've been good.
2008 with the
The
D
D
boys back
boys
in the
were
day, the
great.
D boys
Yeah.
was out there dominant. So,
And then, I mean,
what any
2019, they were great with Kayvon and Javon Holland as well, but, like, for the most part, the defense has not been the calling card. It's been the offense and the flashiness
yeah,
of it. But I think it's really fun this year that you've got this defense that you can rely upon to keep an offense out of the end zone. And granted, look at the level of competition you're playing. We'll see how they do against the better teams, but man, it's a lot of fun. And I think what's
yeah,
really encouraging is that coming into the year, there was question marks about the defensive line and about the linebackers because we didn't, we had to see it. We needed them to prove the talent that they had and the depth that they had. So far, I think we've gotten
yeah.
really good answers at both spots.
Yeah, and I mean, I think as you know, like guys like Bosa or not Bosa, I'm
Where's your
thinking
head at?
about thinking about saying the LA Chargers. Guys like Bosa, the guys that we expect to see, preseason that haven't really been getting that many reps, right? There's a lot to say. There's a lot to look at there. As far as why Oregon might have had a slow start. Oregon coaching staff sees something in a lot of players that gives them a better chance to win games down the road. And let alone, you know, having the depth still there, knowing that we have depth at a lot of these positions. It's a lot to be excited about.
Well, and
Um,
and not to cut you off either, but with Bassa, I think he was more injured than we really knew. He got rolled up
okay,
on in that first game and hurt his ankle for sure. We talked to him today after practice and he said, "Hey, I'm healthy. I'm 100% healthy. I'm ready to roll." So I
okay,
think he's finally getting back to the place where, he was on a snap count for a few weeks and now he's kind of getting back to who we think
okay.
Jeff Bassa should be. So that's a big part of it as well.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then we've been able to roll how we've been rolling without him at top shape.
Mhm.
That's even more scarier. So I'm excited. Got team because we're gonna need it against teams like Ohio State. And,
Yeah.
they're gonna come in here, firepower. You know, who's calling the plays and calling the shots. You're gonna need uh some defense.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So I'm looking at I look at games like Georgia and that Alabama game, and you know you gotta figure out a way to win on defense. You cannot just depend on offense when it comes down to these big games. As you mentioned before, you get to the big stage, everyone can fly around and catch balls and break tackles.
Yeah.
But do you have a defense that can be a wall?
Mhm.
And that's what we want to make sure we prove as we continue going throughout the season is that our defense continues to be trending in the right direction.
I mean, look at what Michigan did last year in the national championship. They had a decent offense, pretty good
Yeah,
offense. That defense was best in the nation,
stacked.
and they won a championship behind it. So I
Yeah,
think that's the sweet spot. All right, let's get into flying with the pros. I don't think either of us are going to highlight Bo Nix and his 60 yards passing, but I
yeah,
will say he did get his second win in the NFL this time over Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. So shout out to him. You got to get the win any way you can. So that was great.
yep.
Instead, I want to highlight Diamador Lenore for the San
Mm,
Francisco 49ers. This guy's been on a tear this year. He has become one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL. He had 3 tackles, allowed 3 catches on 6 targets in this game. I think he's just been playing really well. It's classic when you like watching on Sunday. They're just constantly showing him for plays that he's making. The announcers are calling his name. Diamador Lenore. Fun name to say. Really cool that he's from the Ducks.
yeah, I'm very pleased, and well, congratulations on saying that name the right way.
I'm a
Um,
professional.
yeah, you are a professional talker. That was amazing. I'm gonna go with Panay Sewell, again,
Yeah.
like I went with him last week,
That's fine. We
but
could go with him
I'm
every week.
I'm a huge offensive line guy right now, and
Nice.
no pressures. You win a game. You run the ball basically whenever you want to because you have a guy like him playing tackle.
Mhm.
Um, and he just looks really nice in his uniform.
Those were nice uniforms last night too. Those
Yeah,
black ones for Detroit. Those look
yeah.
good. All right,
Look
I'm
nice
going
and
to your
nice and sturdy, and just a
yeah.
nice guy to get behind and
I'm not
get
gonna lie, I
get some
didn't
holes
love the
ran.
blue helmets, but I did like the black uniforms.
I wasn't mad at the blue helmets.
I
You
wasn't
didn't like
mad
the
at
blue?
them, but I would have liked it with the silver a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm going to your neck of the woods. I'm going DJ Johnson for the Carolina Panthers. He had
Yeah.
a season high 6 tackles, 1 tackle for
One for
loss.
tough loss.
Yeah, he's playing really well this year. So
Yeah.
uh, he
They're
looked good in that
they're
game.
he is coming along, trending in the right direction.
Mhm.
A lot's going to be asked of him, even more so with some losses at the linebacker depth there. We lost 2 of our starters this past week. One to Shaq Thompson,
Mhm.
uh, NFL vet, Panther great when it's all said and done. He tore his Achilles,
Ouch.
and then Josie Jewell, other linebacker, pulled hamstring. So this is going to be an opportunity for him to, make his case again and just, continue to be a run stopper and then get an opportunity to pin his ears back and get after the quarterback. So,
Absolutely. Yep.
mhm.
All right, you got it. Any more for me?
No, that's it. I
Okay.
mean, Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving.
Yeah. Bucky needs
Let's
to be
go,
mentioned.
Bucky. Bucky,
He's taken over the starter job there.
keep doing Bucky things, bro.
Yeah.
Whatever Bucky wants to do, let him do it.
Yeah.
Just as
It's been
long as it doesn't happen to the Carolina Panthers.
well, I don't know. If they play the Panthers, he's gonna be doing Bucky things to you guys. I'm sure about it.
All right. Yeah,
Last one for me. How about Troy Dye? We have not said that name at all this year, I
Troy.
think, but he had a season high 3 tackles. He had half a sack in that game against the Chiefs this week. So they didn't get the win, but he played well, and I think he's kind of coming into his own after going to the Chargers this year.
Yeah. Good job, Troy.
All right, let's turn our heads towards Michigan State and get into the gambling corner. Again, all of our odds are brought to you by our sponsor, Bet Online. The Ducks are 24-point favorites in this game with a money line that is too high for any to be touching, an over under of 52.5 points. Do you have an initial read on this?
My initial read is basically looking at how Ohio State played them.
Mhm.
They beat them 38, what, 0?
38-7, I think.
7?
Yeah.
Um, I think what I would like to see is somewhat of the same type of game.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just gonna go on the limb and say our defense is gonna continue to trend and get better and hold Michigan to maybe 10 points.
Okay. Yeah, I like
10
that.
points.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I feel like a broken record, but like from last week against UCLA, but I'm taking Oregon and I'm taking the under because I think the Ducks win in a blowout. I think the defense gets 2 to 3 turnovers in this game. Aiden Childs, the Michigan State quarterback, is very turnover prone. I'm pretty sure he has 8
Yeah.
interceptions this year.
And
I think
that is very much so because they do like to take shots. I heard
take a lot of shots. Yeah.
Dan Lanning mentioned that in a press conference as
Hmm.
far as his evaluation on Childs, and hopefully we are opportunistic in that department, such as turnovers.
Yeah, I think they get 2 to 3 turnovers, whether it's interceptions or fumbles, recoveries. I think they win by like 35. So I'm taking Oregon minus 24. I'm taking, if it got up to like 25, 26, I'm still taking it. I think they assert some
Yeah,
dominance on national TV, this big stage when they're kind of the only game on. I think they want to show what they can do.
and you got to take into consideration that Michigan State's got to travel. They got
Hmm.
to travel,
On a short week.
short week. It's Big Ten introduction for Oregon, and there might be a lot at stake for the original Big Ten to make a statement,
Hmm.
and they won't be able to make anything. So,
I don't think so. I
yeah.
don't think so. All right, let's hear some duck calls. We break down a couple things we want to see out of this team in week 6 and make some predictions for Friday. Do you have any game day wishes for me? Things that you want to see?
Um, Game day wishes. A wish list for myself this week. It's a short week.
Okay.
What Michigan's gonna want to do is run the ball, right? It's an away game, hostile environment because Duck fans are gonna go absolute crazy.
Students are
It's
back
Friday.
too.
Students are back in school and they're not doing any homework.
It's what, syllabus week? No chance. Friday night syllabus week? Yeah. It'll be a fun
It's
night in
party
Eugene.
time. Nighttime game. It's what you've been wanting if you're an organ, right?
Mhm.
And you get a chance to go out there and show the world why you're ranked number 6, in the nation. So defense has got to stop the run. I
Mhm.
don't want this guy who the running back, uh, K'Ron Lynch Adams, KLA, K'Ron, hey K'Ron, hey Aaron, K'Ron Lynch Adams, 58 carries so far this year, 306 yards with a touchdown. Um, we don't want to get him any. We don't want to give him any lanes.
Mhm.
I just think we just need to be fundamentally sound, hit your gaps, and do not make any business decisions on TV, on national TV. Just play what you've been doing. You've been stopping the run. You've been playing well, really sound football. Go in there and don't do anything crazy. It's a short week, and this is when you depend like solely on fundamentals of football, which is run the ball, stop the run, and no turnovers, and don't make any mistakes, as in penalties. So,
The Ducks are doing good in that run stopping area too. They're ranked number 37 in the nation for rush defense, allowing 112 yards per game. So I
and
think
that's
they
with
can do a good
that's
job.
with that's with the slow start too, and going
That's
against
with
Boise
going against
State.
Sash and Genty. Yeah,
Yeah, so take those games away, and
yeah,
they're
they're
ranked
looking really good.
probably top 15.
Yeah. All right, I only
So,
have one game day wish this week, and it's very simple. We talked about this on Sunday. I want a complete game, man. I want no drives, no quarters where we're looking back afterwards and we're kind of nitpicking for poor execution. I want no mental lapses or, like you said, terrible penalties that kind of set you back behind the sticks. I want to see 60 minutes of locked in, clean football in front of a national audience against the first real Big Ten team that kind of
mhm,
shows everyone, hey, Oregon is they're here. We'll see. I want the hype to be as high as it can be for Ohio State the week after, and to do
yeah,
that by playing a clean game on Friday night in front of a big TV audience and just kind of asserting some dominance.
yeah. Insert your will, inflict pain,
Mhm.
and basically show yourself dominant over the Michigan State Spartans, and let them know that
Absolutely.
there's no such thing as a Spartan in Eugene, Oregon.
All
It's only
right.
ducks, baby. What's
Time for
that?
predictions. Do you have give me one bold prediction for Oregon versus Michigan State?
Um, Jordan James will have 150 yards rushing plus.
150. Okay. Hey, you were right with your bold prediction last time with the
Yeah,
18 carries. He got even more than that.
yeah, yeah. I think that the reason why I wanted him to have that was so that way he would be well conditioned
Mhm.
and ready for this game.
Okay.
Because short weeks, you got to be able to depend on just knocking people in the face,
Mhm.
knocking them out, hitting them in the face, and you do that by running the ball and stopping the run. You got to impose your will on your opponent, and short weeks, you got to do it because mental errors are gonna happen. Especially on offense, you have a short week. Guys are tired. You got homework. People are on campus now, and there's a lot of distractions, right? So hone in and whoop somebody's tail. So
Yeah. I like it. My prediction, it's kind of unfortunate that this is a bold prediction at this point, but that's where we are. I want to see Dante Moore on the field. I want to see 2 drives. 2 drives. That's all I'm asking for of Dante
yeah,
Moore. He's going against a team that's from his home state of Michigan. He's probably going to have family there. He's definitely got family back home watching. I'm calling for a blowout here. I think that he'll have the opportunity, but we've said that a few times before this year where it's like, oh, he should be able to get in late in the game. Hasn't happened. So let's make it happen. Let's see him play. That's all I want. I just want 2 drives. It's not asking for a lot.
yeah. It's not asking for a lot. Just make it happen.
Final score prediction from you?
43-10.
43-10. All right, we're in the same ballpark. I've got 49-13 Oregon.
Okay. Okay.
All right, let's wrap it up there. We'll be back with you guys this weekend to recap Friday's game. Look out for that. Likely on Saturday, it's gonna be a late game. So if I had to guess, we'll be with you on Saturday. I'll let you guys know on social media when we go on live on YouTube for that. Just do you got anything to add before we get out of here?
No, man. For all the listeners right now, obviously you are aware of the hurricane that hit the coast, that actually made its way into the Carolinas. So pray for Western Carolina. If you want to know ways that you can help out, you can follow me on Instagram. I got a lot of stuff that's floating in my stories. I'm reposting things. And so if you're aware of this and you have loved ones that are in the Carolinas, check on them. It's really terrible out there, man. They're without cell service, electricity, no water. Um, and you're talking about one of the most beautiful places in the nation, that went underwater. So,
Yeah, I think I saw that it was like the second most deadliest hurricane in
yeah,
American
and
history.
they haven't even started counting bodies yet. So
God, that's
it's
sad. It's
it's
scary.
it's
Yeah,
devastating. So
yeah.
just
Help
want
if
to
you
throw that
can.
out there. You can follow, you know, social sites, websites such as Independent Fund, um, which supports, the veterans and whatnot, but they also have leadership in rescue missions. So, you have a lot of guys that are retired vets and from the Army, military, Navy, Marines, all of it, right? And they're putting their lives on the line, still doing these secret missions, and this one is one of those where they're being deployed to go and save babies, kids,
Mhm.
like grandparents, like families, out of harsh situations where they're trapped by water and can't
Yeah,
get out because streets are being closed down, because the failure of bridges, the failure of roadways being washed away. It's madness.
yeah. Yeah. Very sad, very devastating. I'm glad you got that in there. That's help if you can, for sure. Help if you can.
Yeah.
On that note, we're gonna get out of here. You can check out more of my work at duckswire.usatoday.com. Follow me at Zachary C. Neel on Twitter. Follow Stu on Twitter and Instagram at Jonathan Stewart1 to make sure to check out the Believe in Panthers podcast and the Stew and Crew podcast. For myself, Zach Neel, for my co-host Jonathan Stewart, we will talk to you guys next week. Until then, take it easy.